First contact. The vast expanse of space stretched before the exploration vessel Stargazer, its sleek hull gleaming in the light of distant stars. On the bridge, Captain Aria Chen stood with her hands clasped behind her back, dark eyes fixed on the view screen. The ship had been traversing uncharted space for months, seeking new worlds and civilizations on behalf of the United Earth Alliance. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Ravi Mehta from his station at Sensors, "I'm picking up some unusual readings from the system ahead." Aria turned, her short black hair swaying with the movement. "What kind of readings, Lieutenant?" Ravi's fingers danced across his console. "It's strange, Captain. The fourth planet in the system is showing signs of advanced technology, but there's something off about the energy signatures. They're like nothing we've ever encountered before." Excitement bubbled up in Aria's chest, but she kept her expression neutral. This was what they'd been searching for, the unknown, the extraordinary. "Helm, take us in closer. Tactical, keep our defenses ready, but don't power up weapons. We don't want to appear hostile." As the Stargazer approached the mysterious planet, the crew watched in awe as it came into view. The world before them was a swirling mass of purples and blues, with wispy white clouds and gleaming silver structures visible even from orbit. "It's beautiful," whispered Ensign Zoe Wallace from her position at communications. Aria nodded in agreement. "Zoe, broadcast our standard greeting on all frequencies. Let's see if anyone's home." For several tense moments, there was no response. Then suddenly, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a being unlike anything the crew had ever seen. Its body seemed to be composed of swirling energy, vaguely humanoid in shape, but constantly shifting and changing. Two bright points of light served as eyes, focused intently on the human crew. "Greetings, travelers," the being spoke, its voice melodious and ethereal. "We are the Zephyrians. Welcome to our world." Aria stepped forward, her heart racing. "I am Captain Aria Chen of the United Earth Alliance vessel Stargazer. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship." The Zephyrian's form shimmered, and Aria could have sworn it was smiling. "Your journey has been long, Captain Chen. We would be honored to host you and your crew on Zephyria. There is much we can learn from each other." Over the next few days, Aria and a small team from the Stargazer made several trips to the surface of Zephyria. They marveled at floating cities, constructed of a material that seemed to be equal parts energy and matter. The Zephyrians themselves were a fascinating study in contrasts, deeply spiritual yet technologically advanced, peaceful yet fiercely protective of their world. As Aria walked through one of the Zephyrians' grand halls with Lizara, their appointed guide, she couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. Despite the Zephyrians' warm welcome, there was an underlying tension she couldn't quite place. "Lizara," Aria began carefully, "your people have been incredibly gracious, but I can't shake the feeling that something's troubling you. Is everything all right?" The Zephyrian's form flickered, a sign Aria had come to recognize as distress. "You are perceptive, Captain Chen. We had hoped to shield you from our burdens, but perhaps it is time we shared the truth." Lizara led Aria to a secluded garden where swirling energy patterns danced among exotic plants. "Our world is dying, Captain. The very essence that gives us life, that powers our civilization, is fading. We have perhaps a decade left before Zephyria becomes uninhabitable." Aria's mind reeled at the revelation. "But your technology is so advanced. Surely there's something that can be done." "We have tried everything within our power," Lizara replied, her voice heavy with sorrow. "But the problem lies beyond our reach. It is the star at the heart of our system. It is destabilizing, and with it, the delicate balance that sustains our form of life." Aria's tactical mind immediately began racing through possibilities. "What about evacuation? Surely we could help relocate your people." Lizara's form pulsed with a mix of emotions. "It is not so simple, Captain. Our physical form is intrinsically linked to the energy of this world. To leave would mean transformation. We would lose much of what makes us Zephyrian." As the gravity of the situation sank in, Arya felt a deep resolve settle over her. This was why humanity had ventured into the stars, not just for exploration, but to make a difference, to help those in need. "Lizara," she said, her voice firm with determination, "I can't promise we can solve everything, but I give you my word that we will do everything in our power to help. The Stargazer may not have all the answers, but we have resources, and more importantly, we have the entire United Earth Alliance behind us. Together, we might find a solution no one has thought of yet." The Zephyrian's form brightened, hope radiating from every swirling particle. "Your offer is more generous than we could have ever hoped for, Captain Chen. But I must warn you, involving yourselves in our plight may put your own people at risk. The forces at work here are beyond anything you've encountered." Arya smiled, a glint of determination in her eyes. "With all due respect, Lizara, humanity has a long history of overcoming the impossible. It's kind of our specialty." As they made their way back to the Grand Hall, Arya's mind was already formulating plans. She would need to contact Earth, requisition additional ships and scientific experts. The challenge ahead was immense, but so was the opportunity to save an entire civilization, to forge an alliance that could change the course of galactic history. Little did Arya know that her decision to help the Zephyrians would set in motion a chain of events that would test the very limits of human ingenuity, courage, and compassion. The fate of two species now hung in the balance, and the clock was ticking. As the Stargazer prepared to break orbit and begin its journey back to Earth to gather reinforcements, Arya stood on the bridge, watching the swirling beauty of Zephyria grow smaller on the viewscreen. She felt the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders, but also a surge of excitement. This was what it meant to be human, to reach out, to connect, to strive against the odds. "Helm," she commanded, her voice steady and sure. "Set course for Earth. Maximum warp. We've got a world to save." The Stargazer's engines hummed to life, and as the ship leaped into warp, Arya couldn't help but feel that they were on the cusp of something momentous. The adventure was only just beginning, and the echoes of their actions would resonate across the stars for generations to come. The Zephyrian Dilemma. The sleek silhouette of the Stargazer cut through the inky blackness of space, flanked by two additional Earth vessels, the cutting-edge science ship Quantum Horizon and the powerful defense cruiser Aegis. Captain Arya Chen stood on the bridge, her determined gaze fixed on the swirling purple and blue orb of Zephyria growing larger on the viewscreen. "All ships, prepare for synchronized orbit," Arya commanded, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. The stakes had never been higher, not just for her career, but for the fate of an entire alien civilization. As the small fleet settled into orbit, Arya couldn't help but marvel at how quickly events had unfolded. Her impassioned plea to the United Earth Alliance Council had not only been heard, but had sparked a groundswell of support. Humanity, it seemed, was eager to prove itself on the galactic stage. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Ravi Mehta from his station, "I'm detecting some unusual energy fluctuations from the planet's surface. It's like the whole world is pulsing." Arya frowned. On screen. The viewscreen shifted, showing a real-time map of Zephyria. True to Ravi's words, waves of energy rippled across the planet's surface in an erratic pattern. "It's gotten worse," Arya murmured. "Zoe, hail the Zephyrian High Council. We need to get down there now." Within the hour, Arya found herself standing in the grand hall of the Zephyrian capital, accompanied by Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the lead scientist from the Quantum Horizon, and Commander Jack Harper from the Aegis. The room was a marvel of alien architecture, with walls that seemed to breathe and shimmer with otherworldly energy. Lizara, the Zephyrian guide Arya had befriended on her previous visit, glided forward. Her energy form pulsed with a mix of hope and anxiety. "Captain Chen, we feared you might not return. The situation has deteriorated." Before Arya could respond, a booming voice echoed through the hall. And what exactly do these humans think they can do that we cannot? A large, intimidating Zephyrian materialized before them, its energy form crackling with barely contained power. This, Arya realized, must be Zorn, the leader of the conservative faction she'd been warned about. Arya stepped forward, her chin raised defiantly. With all due respect, Councillor Zorn, sometimes an outside perspective is exactly what's needed. We've brought our best scientists and most advanced technology. We're here to help, not to interfere. Zorn's form flickered dismissively. Your advanced technology is but a child's toy compared to the power of Zephyria. You know nothing of the cosmic forces at work here. Perhaps not, Dr. Tanaka interjected, her voice calm but firm. But we do know about thinking outside the box, about finding solutions where none seemed possible. It's kind of our species' speciality. The tension in the room was palpable. Arya could sense the divide among the Zephyrians. Some, like Lysara, welcomed their help, while others, led by Zorn, saw them as primitive interlopers. Suddenly, the ground beneath them shuddered. The walls of the grand hall pulsed erratically, and several Zephyrians cried out in alarm. "What's happening?" Commander Harper demanded, his hand instinctively moving to his weapon. Lysara's form trembled. "It's a quantum flux. They're growing more frequent, more intense. Our world, it's crying out in pain." As if to underscore her words, a holographic display materialized in the center of the hall, showing a three-dimensional model of the Zephyrian star system. At its heart, their sun writhed and pulsated unnaturally. Dr. Tanaka rushed forward, her eyes wide with a mix of scientific curiosity and horror. "This is incredible. The star's core is undergoing some kind of quantum destabilization. It's affecting the very fabric of space-time in this system." Zorn's energy crackled ominously. "As I said, human, forces beyond your comprehension. This is Zephyrian business, not yours." Arya had had enough. She strode to the center of the room, her voice ringing out with authority. "No, Counselor. The moment we answered your distress call, this became our business too. We are all in this together now." She turned, addressing the entire Zephyrian Council. "I understand your fear, your reluctance to trust outsiders, but look around you. Your world is dying. We may be your only hope. Let us help. Let us work together to find a solution." A murmur ran through the assembled Zephyrians. Even Zorn seemed taken aback by Arya's boldness. Lysara glided forward, her form glowing with approval. "Captain Chen speaks wisely. We have long prided ourselves on our self-reliance, but perhaps it is time to embrace a new path. The humans have shown great courage in coming here. We owe it to ourselves, to our future, to at least try." The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. The Grand Hall was transformed into a joint operations center, with humans and Zephyrians working side by side. Dr. Tanaka and her team pored over Zephyrian scientific data, while Commander Harper coordinated with Zephyrian defense forces to monitor the increasing quantum fluctuations. Arya found herself in deep discussion with Lysara and other members of the Zephyrian Council, trying to bridge the gap between their two species. The more she learned about Zephyrian culture and history, the more she realized how monumental this collaboration was. "Your people," Lysara explained, her form shimmering with emotion, "are the first non-energy beings we've ever encountered. For millennia, we believed ourselves to be alone in the universe. Your arrival, it has shaken the very foundations of our society." Arya nodded, understanding dawning. "That's why there's so much resistance. We're not just offering help, we're challenging your entire worldview." "Precisely," Lysara agreed. "But perhaps that challenge is exactly what we need. Our civilization has stagnated, grown complacent. Your human adaptability, your drive to explore and overcome, it is both terrifying and inspiring." As night fell on Zephyria, casting the alien world in a breathtaking array of bioluminescent hues, Arya stood on a balcony overlooking the capital city. The beauty before her was matched only by the sense of impending doom. Time was running out. Dr. Tanaka joined her, looking exhausted but exhilarated. "Captain, we've made some progress. The Zephyrian scientists, their knowledge of quantum mechanics is incredible. Combined with our unconventional approach, I think we might be onto something." Arya raised an eyebrow. "Something that could save the planet." Yuki hesitated. "Maybe, but it's risky. We're talking about manipulating forces we barely understand. One wrong move, and we could tear a hole in the fabric of space-time itself." Before Arya could respond, alarms blared throughout the city. The sky above them shimmered and warped, as if reality itself was coming undone. Commander Harper's voice crackled over the comm. "Captain, we've got a problem. A big one. You're gonna want to see this." As Arya raced back to the control room, her mind whirled with possibilities and fears. They were on the brink of either their greatest triumph or their most catastrophic failure. The fate of Zephyria, and perhaps the entire sector, hung in the balance. Little did she know that the true test of humanity's resolve was yet to come. The challenges ahead would push them to their limits, forcing them to question everything they thought they knew about the universe and their place in it. As another quantum flux shook the city, Arya steeled herself for what was to come. One thing was certain: the next few days would determine not just the fate of Zephyria, but the future of human-alien relations for generations to come. The stage was set for a cosmic drama unlike anything in human history. Quantum convergence. The control room of the Zephyrian capital pulsed with frantic energy as Captain Arya Chen burst through the doors, Dr. Tanaka hot on her heels. The holographic display at the center of the room showed a terrifying sight. The fabric of space-time itself was unraveling around Zephyria's star. "By the cosmos," Lizara whispered, her energy form flickering with fear. Commander Harper pointed to the display. "It's like nothing we've ever seen, Captain. The star is collapsing in on itself, but instead of forming a black hole, it's creating some kind of quantum singularity." Dr. Tanaka pushed forward, her eyes wide with a mix of terror and scientific fascination. "It's a hyperdimensional rift. The star's collapse is tearing open a gateway between realities." Zorn, the conservative Zephyrian leader, crackled with angry energy. "This is the price of meddling with forces beyond your comprehension, humans." Arya raised her hand, silencing the room. "Blame and fear won't solve anything. We need solutions now. Dr. Tanaka, what are we looking at?" Yuki took a deep breath. "The quantum fluctuations we've been experiencing, they're just the tip of the iceberg. As the rift grows, it's going to start pulling in matter from our reality. First Zephyria, then the entire system, and eventually the whole sector," Arya finished, her voice grim. A young Zephyrian scientist named Zev floated forward, his form shimmering with excitement. "But don't you see, this isn't just destruction, it's opportunity. The hyperdimensional rift, it's a doorway to infinite realities, infinite energy." Lizara's form pulsed with hope. "Could this be the solution to our energy crisis?" Dr. Tanaka shook her head. "It's not that simple. Harnessing that kind of power, we'd be playing with fire on a cosmic scale." Arya's mind raced. They needed a plan, and fast. "Okay, we need to approach this from all angles. Dr. Tanaka, I want you and the Zephyrian scientists working on a way to stabilize that rift. Commander Harper, coordinate with the Aegis. We need defensive options in case things go south. Lizara, Zev, I need you to dive into Zephyrian archives. There has to be something in your history, your legends, that can help us understand what we're dealing with." As the room burst into action, Arya felt a tug on her arm. It was Zorn, his energy form subdued. "Captain Chen, I may have been hasty in my judgment. There is something you should see." Intrigued, Arya followed Zorn to a hidden chamber deep beneath the city. As they entered, Arya gasped. The room was filled with ancient artifacts, swirling with otherworldly energy. "This is the Vault of Ancestors," Zorn explained. "For millennia, We've safeguarded these relics, believing them to be mere symbols of our past. But now, he gestured to a pulsating orb at the center of the room. This is the Nexus Sphere. Legend says it was used by our ancestors to navigate the quantum realms. We always thought it was just a myth, but with what's happening now? Arya approached the sphere, feeling its power thronging through her. This could be the key to everything. Zorn, thank you for trusting me with this. As they rushed back to the control room, alarms blared. The view screen showed chaos erupting across Zephyria. Buildings phasing in and out of reality, Zephyrians struggling to maintain their form as quantum fluctuations tore through the planet. It's accelerating, Dr. Tanaka shouted over the din. We've got hours, maybe less, before the rift consumes everything. Arya's mind whirled. They had the Nexus Sphere, but no idea how to use it. They had brilliant scientists, but were facing forces beyond their understanding. They had courage and determination, but were up against the very laws of physics. Suddenly, an idea struck her, crazy, desperate, but possibly their only hope. Dr. Tanaka, could we use the Stargazer's warp core to generate a controlled quantum field? Arya asked, her eyes blazing with intensity. Yuki's eyes widened as she caught on. You want to create a resonance cascade with the rift. It's brilliant, but, Captain, the odds of success are astronomical. And if we fail, we'll tear a hole in the universe, Arya finished. I know, but it's our only shot. The next few hours were a blur of frantic preparation. The Stargazer was positioned at the edge of the rift, its warp core pushed to limits it was never designed for. Zephyrian energy weavers worked alongside human engineers, integrating the Nexus Sphere into the ship's systems. As the final preparations were made, Arya addressed the combined crews of the human ships and the Zephyrian volunteers. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. The risks are enormous, but so are the stakes. Today, we make our stand, not as humans or Zephyrians, but as sentient beings united against cosmic chaos. Whatever happens, it has been my greatest honor to serve with each and every one of you. With a deep breath, Arya gave the command, initiate quantum resonance. The Stargazer's warp core rolled to life, channeling impossible energies through the Nexus Sphere. The rift before them pulsed and writhed, reality itself seeming to scream in protest. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing happened. Then, with a silent flash that seared itself into the minds of all who witnessed it, the rift began to stabilize. Tendrils of quantum energy latched onto the Stargazer, using it as an anchor point to knit reality back together. But something was wrong. The ship was being pulled into the rift, the stress threatening to tear it apart. We need more power. Dr. Tanaka shouted over the groaning of the ship's hull. Lazara's voice came over the comm, strong and clear. You shall have it, friends. To Arya's amazement, she watched as thousands of Zephyrians flew from the planet's surface, their energy forms merging with the quantum field around the Stargazer. They were giving everything they had, risking their very existence, to save their world and the humans who had come to help them. The ship shuddered, caught between realities, as Arya fought to keep her crew focused. Hold on, we're almost there. With a final, reality-bending flash, the rift collapsed in on itself. The Stargazer was flung clear, tumbling through space as its systems overloaded. As emergency power came online and the view screen flickered to life, Arya saw a sight that took her breath away. Zephyria hung in space, whole and unharmed, but it was changed. The once purple world now shimmered with a rainbow of quantum energies, pulsing with new life. Lazara's voice, weak but filled with joy, came over the comm. Captain Chen, Arya, you did it. You saved us all. As the crew of the Stargazer cheered, Arya felt a weight lift from her shoulders. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. But as she looked out at the transformed Zephyria, she knew that this was only the beginning. The universe had changed forever, and humanity's place in it would never be the same. The quantum age had begun, and with it, a new chapter in the cosmic story of life itself. Quantum awakening. The stargazer hung in space, its hull scarred and systems barely functional, but triumphant. Captain Aria Chen stood on the bridge, her uniform singed and her hair disheveled, watching as the transformed planet Zephyria pulsed with newfound energy. "Status report," she called out, her voice hoarse from shouting orders during the harrowing ordeal. Lieutenant Ravi met his fingers danced across his console. "Captain, you're not going to believe this. The quantum resonance cascade didn't just stabilize the rift, it's fundamentally altered the planet's composition. Zephyria is now a quantum nexus point, a bridge between dimensions." Dr. Yuki Tanaka rushed onto the bridge, her eyes wild with excitement. "Aria, the readings we're getting, they're off the charts. The Zephyrians, they're evolving." Before Aria could respond, the view screen flickered to life. The image of Lizara appeared, but she was changed. Her energy form now shimmered with fractal patterns, each movement leaving echoes across multiple planes of existence. "Captain Chen," Lizara's voice resonated with newfound power. "What you have done for us, there are no words. Our world, our people, we are reborn." Aria stepped forward, awe and concern warring in her eyes. "Lizara, what's happening to you?" "We are becoming more than we ever dreamed possible," Lizara replied, her form shifting through impossible geometries. "The quantum energies you unleash have awakened something within us, something ancient and powerful. We are no longer bound by single-dimensional existence." As if to demonstrate, Lizara's form split into multiple versions of herself, each occupying a slightly different point in space-time. "We can perceive and interact with multiple realities simultaneously. The knowledge, the power at our fingertips, it's intoxicating." Commander Jack Harper edged closer to Aria, his voice low. "Captain, this could be a problem. If the Zephyrians can manipulate reality itself." Aria nodded, understanding the implications. Humanity had come to help, but had they inadvertently created a race of godlike beings? "Lizara," Aria began carefully, "we're overjoyed that we could help save your world. But these new abilities, they come with great responsibility. How do you intend to use them?" Lizara's multiple forms coalesced back into one, her expression serious. "You speak wisely, Aria. The temptation to reshape reality to our whims is strong, but we have not forgotten the lessons of cooperation and humility you taught us. We propose an alliance, a partnership to explore the quantum realms together, for the benefit of all sentient life." Relief washed over Aria, but she knew the challenges were far from over. "We'd be honored, Lizara. But first, we need to understand what's happening. Can we send a team to the surface?" "Of course," Lizara replied. "But be warned, Zephyria is not as you left it. Prepare yourselves for wonders beyond imagination." Hours later, Aria found herself leading a small expedition to the planet's surface. As they materialized on Zephyria, she gasped. The world around them was a kaleidoscope of quantum possibilities. Buildings phased in and out of existence, their architecture defying Euclidean geometry. Zephyrians moved through the air like living fractals, their bodies splitting and reforming as they navigated multiple realities. Dr. Tanaka's eyes were wide as she took readings on her quantum tricorder. "This is incredible. The entire planet is a quantum computer, processing information across infinite parallel universes simultaneously." Zev, the young Zephyrian scientist, appeared before them, his form now a swirling vortex of data and energy. "Welcome, friends, to New Zephyria, or shall I say, welcome to all possible Zephyrias." As they toured the transformed world, Aria's mind reeled at the implications. The Zephyrians were reshaping matter and energy at will, curing diseases by simply rewriting the patient's quantum state, and solving complex problems by distributing computations across countless parallel realities. But it wasn't all wonder and amazement. They soon encountered Zorn, the once conservative leader, now a being of pure quantum potential. Aria Chen, His voice boomed across multiple frequencies. "You have given us the power of gods. Some among us believe it is our destiny to reshape the galaxy in our image. Why should we limit ourselves to this single world when infinite realities beckon?" Arya felt a chill run down her spine. This was the moment she had feared, absolute power corrupting absolutely. But before she could respond, Lizara appeared, her presence a calming influence on the quantum chaos around them. "Zorn, we discussed this," Lizara said, her voice carrying the weight of multiple cells in agreement. "Our gift comes with a duty to shepherd, not to dominate. We must use our powers wisely, to elevate all sentient life, not to rule over it." Zorn's form rippled with frustration, but he acquiesced. Arya realized that the Zephyrians were engaged in a constant dialogue across quantum realities, debating the ethical use of their newfound abilities. As the tour concluded, Arya found herself in a vast chamber that seemed to exist in all possible configurations simultaneously. The Zephyrian High Council, now beings of pure quantum potential, assembled before her. Captain Arya Chen, they spoke in unison, their voices resonating across dimensions. "You have ushered in a new era for our people. But with great power comes great responsibility. We propose a quantum accord, a partnership between Zephyria and Earth, to explore the quantum realms responsibly, to seek out new life and new civilizations across the multiverse, and to use our combined knowledge for the betterment of all." Arya stood tall, feeling the weight of history on her shoulders. "On behalf of humanity, I accept. Together, we'll forge a path into a future brighter than either of our species could have imagined alone." As she spoke those words, Arya felt a shift in the quantum field around her. Suddenly, she could perceive glimpses of possible futures, starships powered by quantum engines, exploring the farthest reaches of the multiverse, diseases eradicated by quantum healing techniques, and a galactic civilization founded on the principles of cooperation and mutual understanding. But she also saw darker possibilities. Wars fought with reality-walking weapons, tyranny spanning multiple dimensions, and the very fabric of existence threatened by unchecked quantum manipulation. The choice of which future would come to pass now rested in their hands. As Arya prepared to return to the Stargazer and report to Earth, she knew that the greatest adventure of her life, of all their lives, was just beginning. The quantum age had dawned, and with it, infinite possibilities for triumph or tragedy. Humanity and Zephyria stood together on the brink of a new cosmic era, ready to face whatever wonders and challenges the quantum multiverse had in store. The multiversal nexus. Captain Arya Chen stood on the observation deck of the newly christened quantum ship, Infinity Weaver. The vessel, a marvel of human ingenuity and Zephyrian quantum technology, hummed with possibilities. Through the panoramic windows, the swirling energies of the quantum slipstream danced, a testament to how far they'd come in the year since the transformation of Zephyria. "Captain," Lieutenant Ravi Mehta's voice came over the comm, "we're approaching the coordinates for the multiversal nexus. You might want to see this." Arya made her way to the bridge, her steps light in the ship's artificial gravity field. As she entered, the view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that took her breath away. Before them hung a colossal structure, defying conventional physics. It resembled a giant, multidimensional snowflake, each facet a window into a different reality. Streams of quantum energy flowed between the facets, creating a cosmic web of interconnected universes. "By all that's holy," Commander Jack Harper whispered, his usual stoic demeanor cracking in awe. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's fingers flew over her console. "The readings are off the charts. This structure, it's a central hub connecting thousands, maybe millions of parallel universes. It's the quantum equivalent of a cosmic internet router." Arya felt a familiar presence materialize beside her. Lysara, her Zephyrian friend and mentor, now existed as a being of pure quantum potential. Her form shimmered with fractal patterns, each movement echoing across multiple realities. "Welcome, Arya, to the heart of the multiverse," Lizara's voice resonated with the wisdom of countless quantum selves. This is what we've been searching for, the key to unlocking the full potential of quantum reality. As the Infinity Weaver drew closer to the Nexus, alarms suddenly blared across the bridge. "Captain," Ravi shouted, "we're detecting multiple quantum signatures approaching. They're ships, but like nothing we've ever seen." The view screen shifted, showing a fleet of vessels that defied description. Some phased in and out of reality, others seemed to exist in multiple states simultaneously, and still others appeared to be composed of pure thought-given form. "It's a welcoming committee," Lizara explained, her tone a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "Representatives from various quantum-capable civilizations across the multiverse. They've been waiting for us." Arya straightened her uniform, acutely aware that she was about to make first contact not just with one alien species, but with an entire multiversal community. "Open a channel," she commanded, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. The view screen flickered, and Arya found herself face to face with a dizzying array of beings. Some were vaguely humanoid, others defied categorization entirely. One appeared to be a sentient mathematical equation, while another seemed to be a collection of musical notes given consciousness. "Greetings," Arya began, her voice clear and confident. "I am Captain Arya Chen of the United Earth Alliance, representing the combined delegation of humanity and Zephyria. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship." A chorus of voices responded, some speaking in recognizable languages, others communicating through pure thought or quantum vibrations. The universal translator built into the Infinity Weaver systems struggled to keep up. "Welcome, children of the young universe," a collective voice emerged from the cacophony. "We are the Quantum Conclave, guardians of the multiversal nexus. Your arrival has long been foretold in the probability streams." Arya exchanged glances with her crew, a mix of excitement and trepidation on their faces. "Foretold? I'm not sure I understand." A being that appeared to be made of living crystals stepped forward, its facets reflecting infinite realities. "Every decision, every choice, creates new branches in the multiverse. The emergence of a new quantum-capable species is a momentous event, one that sends ripples across all realities. We have been watching your progress with great interest." "Then you know of our mission?" Arya asked. "Our quest to understand and responsibly harness the power of quantum reality." The crystalline being's facets shimmered with what might have been amusement. "We know of your intentions, yes, but the path ahead is fraught with challenges you cannot yet comprehend. The power to shape reality is a double-edged sword, one that has led many civilizations to greatness and others to ruin." Lizara floated forward, her quantum form pulsing with determination. "We understand the risks, but we also see the potential. Our peoples have already begun to use quantum technology to heal worlds, to solve problems that once seemed insurmountable. Surely, with guidance, we can." She was cut off by a sudden disturbance in the quantum field. The multiversal nexus shuddered, its facets flickering ominously. Alarms blared across the Infinity Weaver's bridge. "What's happening?" Arya demanded, gripping her command chair as the ship rocked. The Quantum Conclave's voices rose in a discordant chorus of alarm. "Intruders. Reality breaches from Universe XJ2991. They seek to destabilize the Nexus." Through the view screen, Arya watched in horror as dark, writhing tendrils of anti-quantum energy lashed out from a newly formed rift in space-time. The attacking entities resembled nothing so much as living voids, hungrily consuming light and matter alike. "They are the nullifiers," the crystalline being explained, its voice tight with urgency. "A race that seeks to unravel the quantum nature of reality, to reduce all existence to a single, unchanging state. They fear the chaos and potential of the multiverse." Arya's tactical mind raced. They were outgunned, facing an enemy they barely understood, in a battlefield that defied conventional physics. But she hadn't come this far to back down now. "Lizara," she called out, an idea forming. You said our quantum resonance cascade on Zephyria created a bridge between realities. Can we replicate that effect here, on a larger scale? Lizora's form pulsed with excitement as she grasped Aria's plan. Yes, if we can create a massive quantum feedback loop, we might be able to seal the rift and push back the nullifiers. Do it, Aria commanded. She turned to address the quantum conclave. We'll need your help. Every quantum-capable ship, focus your energy on the Infinity Weaver. We're about to attempt something that's never been done before. As the crew of the Infinity Weaver scrambled to reconfigure the ship's quantum drive, Aria felt the combined consciousness of countless civilizations converging on their vessel. The power at their fingertips was intoxicating, terrifying in its potential. Quantum resonance cascade, initiating in 3, 2, 1, Dr. Tanaka's voice rang out. The universe seemed to hold its breath. Then, with a silent explosion that reverberated across realities, a wave of pure quantum potential burst forth from the Infinity Weaver. It collided with the nullifier's anti-quantum energy, creating a cosmic fireworks display of impossible colors and dimensions. For a moment that stretched into eternity, Aria felt her consciousness expand. She perceived the entirety of the multiverse, saw the infinite possibilities branching out from this single moment. She understood, in that timeless instant, the true nature of reality, not chaos, not order, but a perfect, beautiful balance of both. As suddenly as it began, it was over. The rift sealed, the nullifiers banished back to their reality. The multiversal nexus pulsed with renewed energy, its facets gleaming with the combined power of countless unified civilizations. Aria found herself back on the bridge of the Infinity Weaver, gasping for breath. Around her, her crew looked equally shaken and exhilarated. The crystalline being of the quantum conclave approached, its facets shimmering with what could only be described as respect. In all our ends of existence, we have never witnessed such an act of courage and unity. You have proven yourselves worthy not just of joining the multiversal community, but of helping to lead it into a new era. As the implications of those words sank in, Aria realized that their journey was far from over. They had taken their first steps into a larger universe, one filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. The quantum age had truly begun, and humanity, together with their Zephyrian allies, would help shape the destiny of not just one universe, but all of them. Well, Aria said, a smile tugging at her lips as she looked out at the infinite possibilities stretching before them, I guess we'd better get to work. We've got a multiverse to explore. As the Infinity Weaver prepared to embark on its next adventure, Aria knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, not just as a crew, not just as allies, but as pioneers of a new cosmic age. The quantum frontier awaited, and they were ready to make history across infinite realities.